Dodgers-Giants, one of the greatest rivalries in both baseball and in sports. The Dodgers and Giants have been at each other's throats for more than a century. Even then, this rivalry wasn't only a Los Angeles-San Francisco thing. A monumental relocation involving these two teams happened which changed baseball forever. How did it happen? Why did it happen? Today we're going to look at all of it. Play the intro. With the Oakland A's moving to Las Vegas, another city out west is getting a team at the cost of another city in the Pacific time zone. If you look at MLB, you'll notice that there are several teams out west. The Seattle Mariners, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Diego Padres, the Los Angeles/California/Anaheim/Los Angeles of Anaheim/Los Angeles Angels. But there was a time when MLB didn't go west of St. Louis. But that changed because of one rivalry. Some minor history first. Both the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Giants started in the National League in 1883, but neither team had their original name. Brooklyn went through many names. First, they flipped between Grays and Atlantics, then went with Bridegrooms after several players got married, then were renamed the Superbas after an odd connection to the Superba, then they were renamed the Trolley Dodgers, or Dodgers for short, after people who dodged electric trolleys. However, from 1914 to 1931, Brooklyn renamed themselves the Robins after manager Wilbert Robinson. But in 1932, they were renamed to the Dodgers full-time. Their rival, the New York Giants, hasn't had many names. New York started as the Gothams. No, not after Batman. After that, they were renamed the Giants after the tall skyscrapers and buildings in New York. The Brooklyn Dodgers were one of the top teams in the National League. After years of always being obliterated by the Yankees, the Dodgers finally won a World Series in 1955. And they had this guy named Jackie Robinson. He was really good also. Despite this, Dodgers owner Walter O'Malley wanted a new stadium. Ebbets Field, while historic, was outdated. Unlike owners today who strong-arm a city, O'Malley had both a plan and funding to build a state-of-the-art stadium located where Barclays Center is today. But that wasn't the only thing, ahaha! O'Malley's plan included a 55,000-seat stadium with a dome, a movie theater, and an automated ticket system. Yes, the proposed Dodger Stadium would have a roof. O'Malley had the finances to build the stadium, but he couldn't buy the land. He tried working out a deal with New York public planner Robert Moses to make the land cheaper to acquire. Except Moses viewed the land as a place for transportation. Moses offered O'Malley the land he was asking for. The only downside? It was in Queens. It wasn't Brooklyn. After months of negotiations, O'Malley took his ball and looked elsewhere. One city caught his attention: Los Angeles. O'Malley saw it as a future destination for baseball. The closest LA got to an MLB team was in 1941 when the St. Louis Browns were on the verge of moving, but were saved thanks to Pearl Harbor and the United States entering World War II. It seemed fine. Only one tiny itty-bitty little problem. Look who the closest National League team to Los Angeles is. The St. Louis Cardinals. The Dodgers would be isolated from the rest of the National League. Or would they? They wouldn't be if they brought someone with them. Like the New York Giants. Speaking of which, what's going on with the Giants? On the other hand, the Giants were in a rut. Despite winning a World Series in 1954, they were crumbling. Attendance was sinking. Owner Horace Stonehand didn't see his team staying in New York for long. He was looking at other places to call home. Originally, Stonehand saw Minneapolis as a place for the Giants to call home. Seeing the huge crowds as a result of the Braves' move from Boston to Milwaukee, Stonehand saw the Midwest as a hotbed for baseball. The Midwest already had the St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, and the aforementioned Milwaukee Braves in the National League. However, logistic problems got in the way and it never happened. That's when O'Malley went to Stoneham with the proposal: move the Giants to San Francisco and join the Dodgers in California. Stoneham considered and put it up to the owners, and this was just the National League, so the Yankees didn't have a say. They allowed the move if both teams went to California. Both agreed to this marriage. The Dodgers and Giants were California bound, but it's not like the fans were accepting this. Dodgers fans started a Keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn campaign, but it never went anywhere. With approval from National League owners, the Dodgers were headed to LA and the Giants were going to San Fran. They would make history as the first two MLB teams to go west of St. Louis. After the move, the two teams went on different paths. The Dodgers have won several World Series titles in 1959, 63, 65, 81, and 88. After Frank McCourt was ousted, the Dodgers won another title in the Mickey Mouse bubble in 2020. Today, the Dodgers are one of the most valuable franchises in sports. They are always one of the top teams to win the World Series, yet they always fall short. If you could guess, I hate the Dodgers. I find their fanbase insufferable and I want to see them fail. Oh yeah, they got Ohtani. I await how they will either choke in October or win the World Series unconvincingly. The Giants, on the other hand, struggled. A few decades after the move, there were rumors that they could have moved to Toronto or Tampa Bay, but neither happened. They made the World Series in 1989 only to be swept by the A's. They made it back in 2002 only to be edged by the Angels. It's as if leaving New York was a curse. But the curse would not only be lifted, but smashed with World Series wins in 2010, 12, and 14. Today, the Giants are on the fringes of playoff contention. They have a decent core being assembled, but being in a division with the Dodgers and Diamondbacks makes me skeptical of their chances. But what happened to New York? Well, they had to wait 5 years. In 1962, the National League came to Queens. It wasn't just for Brooklyn or Manhattan, but both. The New York Mets were born as the replacement for both teams. The Mets pay tribute to both teams with their colors, Giants orange and Dodger blue. As for the Mets, well, they won 2 World Series titles in 1969 and 86, but nothing else. Today, the Mets are one of the more cursed franchises in sports. No matter what they do, it falls apart. Last year was a disaster. This year, I'm not sure if they'll be good or bad. Prove me wrong, Mets. This leaves one more question. Could Brooklyn get another MLB team? For me, I'm skeptical. They might be able to rally around a team, but Brooklyn mostly bleeds orange and blue. The time for a Brooklyn team was more than half a century ago. 20 baseball fans from Brooklyn who don't want to root for the Mets or Yankees, I'm sorry. That might have been your only chance. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I'll see you in the next video.